Today we went on an artist tour at Bristol, and I think I broke the bus when we got on, and so we managed to get there for free instead of for 10 quid, which was amazing. We got off at St Nicholas Market, and even though we saved money on the bus, we're broke students, so we couldn't afford any food, but it smelled absolutely divine, and there was all these teas, and it was heavenly. There was also this shop where they were selling like old fossils and really cool hats. And I took this picture because I remember that was one of the essential things that we had to pack with us. The market was also full of really nice art that wasn't for sale, like these window pieces or this little Mandalorian dude. At the end, there was this really nice tunnel full of graffiti, and opposite that was this cool staircase, which reminded me of sort of infinite staircase thing that I'd seen once.
Hi guys, my name is Wai Ching. I'm a professional tower runner. Today I found a playground. It's called Endless Staircase in Munich, near to this KPMG office, just right in front of them. Let me show you how the stairs looks like. So just like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
I think it's really cool that people make things that have no purpose apart from that it looks cool. You could just keep working on this thing forever and ever and ever, and it would mean nothing. We then went down Leonard Lane because we'd heard that there was a graffiti trail there. I'd never seen 3D graffiti before, but they had a lot of that. And they also had all these different pop culture references. I think it's really cool how graffiti uses those to sort of protest.
Patiently waiting and passionately smashing every expectation, every action's an act of creation.
Bristol also had some really cool buildings. We went in this record shop that had these cool books, which were all had just one topic, and they just had loads of pictures of the same thing. We also went to this art gallery, which we just found by accident in a little alleyway. And it had loads of different artists' works, which were all statements on the climate crisis and what we can do about it. And there was this little film which kind of inspired my little film. We got out and this sign told me not to be a creep, so I'm really trying hard not to do that. But it's difficult when you're an artist and you gotta like take videos of every single stupid, weird car park that you see.
Maybe not.
Or like this building. Or these buildings. Actually, I really like this one. They're all stacked on top of each other and it looks cool. We finally got to the museum that we'd travelled all the way to get to. But on the front door there was a big sign that said, "Please don't use this door, go around the side." So we went on a hunt for the door. And the building was really cool. There's some really nice arches, which you don't see nowadays in modern architecture. It's all just squares, there's no round circles or anything like that. And we kept walking up the hill until we realized that we were no longer in the museum, we were now in Bristol Uni. In fact, the front door that we were looking for was right next to the door that we had gone to in the beginning. When we did finally get inside, we went straight to the animal section, where they had tons of taxidermy animals from around the world. We really took a liking to this pufferfish. we just sat and gave it a hug for a bit because you can't do that to a live pufferfish, and it's kind of a once in a lifetime opportunity. A lot of the other animals weren't so cuddly though. They're positioned to look like they're so full of life, but at the same time, they're so devoid of it. A lot of them look as if they're just staring into your soul. I like these sloths because sloths usually are so like chubby, and you would never thought that their skeletons would be so small and frail. Across the hallway, I got really in touch with my roots. There was a lot of East Asian art and iconography, and Cal also got in touch with their roots.
That's so cool. It's much nicer than the one we had.
Upstairs there was some East Asian art. There was a lot of older stuff, which is really cool because it was intricate and delicate, which is very different from what you see today, where everything's mass-produced and made for usage and not decoration. And there was also a lot of modern stuff, which kind of was talking about that point. And you guys know I love chairs, so I managed to find some chairs. I thought they were really cool because you don't get square chairs really much nowadays. And then we went for lunch and I saw these cigarette butts and it reminded me of like a Frank Gehry type of building. There was also this bit of graffiti that kind of looked like Banksy, but I'm not sure if it was. There was also this guy sat across from us who was really trying hard to eat his sandwich, and all these birds kept jumping in his mouth and trying to eat his sandwich for him.
It was like in his mouth and they were like trying to eat it.
Anyways, we continued along our route and there was these really cool water sculptures. It was a really cold day, so it was just absolutely freezing.
Oi!
We shared a cigarette with this guy who turned out to be a really cool poet from the 18th century. I couldn't find any of his poetry, but I found this painting that somebody did of him on his deathbed when he committed suicide at 17. And the paintings inspired a lot of people to write poetry themselves.
The only window alive. I've always been charmed by corners, the parts light struggles to accept. Who here knows how long it takes to kill a toxic word? Who has ever said a hateful thing to what will never speak? A white wall where visitors come with hand sanitizer or Instagram accounts to marvel at such a perfect composition. The only window alive, meaning a metaphor for those who find it difficult to believe in the direction they drag their bodies. The worst way to go is with knowing. I have struggled to understand the end of fire my whole life, not the thing itself, more the way it seems to sing to whatever it destroys.
We finally got to the Arnolfini Gallery, which was probably one of the highlights of the day. I really resonated with the work, since both artists were of Indian origin. I liked how this artist used collage and really just had fun with it. It's just shapes and colors, which is kind of what it looks like when I don't wear my glasses. And I think it really resonated with the play, make, draw aspect of our module. I didn't like this sculpture, so I just took a picture of the shadow because I thought it looked cool. And they also had yoga mats, which I thought was so artsy of them. Pieces were just the same thing, repeated repeated over and over and over again. Upstairs there was a great big timeline of Sikh history along with Western history, and I thought it was really cool because even though my family's Sikh, I didn't know a lot of that stuff. I like how they use the space to try and talk about the topic of mental health. People are moving away from trying to fix symptoms, and now they're trying to fix the root cause of a problem. While I went to the toilet, I found this chair and I sat on it. And it was actually really comfy, even though it's literally a beat up piece of metal. Then we went to the bus stop because we were absolutely knackered. I took a picture of it because it reminded me of the cheese spider from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatball 2. I think this day really taught me about what art is. Art is displayed, art is sold, art is an advertisement, art is a decoration, art is food, art is a bunch of cigarettes in a bin, art is the shadow of something you hate.